Hey everyone, Mike here in the BFH garage. Today I'm going to be replacing my power brake booster. I'm doing a 98 TJ behind me. If you have a different model year, vehicle, whatever, it's virtually the same. There may be some minor differences, but it's virtually the same and very, very straightforward. So stay tuned and let's walk through this together. I'm not going to go over all the different types of brake boosters because there's a few of them. You have your hydraulic, you have your vacuum, things like that. Talking specifically today about vacuum because that's what most vehicles have. In this case here, the brake booster is located generally in the same spot on all vehicles, and that is on the firewall in front of the driver's seat. The reason behind that is there is a connecting rod that goes down, connects to your brake pedal. When you push in on your brake pedal, it pushes a rod inside here to move a diaphragm, create some air pressure differences, things like that, and that's what gives you that extra boost, makes your brakes nice and easy to push. So what we need to do is we need to get this off here, but first we need to remove the master cylinder and the proportioning valve down below. And then on the other side of this, on the inside of the firewall, there are 4 retaining nuts. So it's really simple to do. You got a vacuum line here, 4 nuts here, 4 nuts inside, and that's it. The hardest part about all this is if you don't have a whole lot of room here for everything to move this way, then it becomes a little bit of a conundrum trying to get this thing out of here. And I can see that I may run into a couple problems. I got my ARB compressor down here. I have my PSC reservoir here, my emission stuff here. So I know for a fact I'm going to take my emission stuff, get that out of the way, remove it, get it out of the way. I don't want to remove my my reservoir here, so I'm going to remove the master cylinder and the proportioning valve. I'm going to see if I can pull those out of the way without bending the brake lines or causing any leaks. And if I can do that and get this out of here, I'm going to be in great shape, but time will tell once I get to that phase. So the first thing you need to do, remove your vacuum line, and then on your master cylinder here, we're going to remove the 2 top nuts first that hold the proportioning valve on. The second set of nuts is what actually holds on the master cylinder. Those will come off after that. So as Murphy's Law would have it, my reservoir here is in the way. I can kind of get it back to it, but it hits up against that fitting. So the only thing I can do now is pull the 10mm bolts and try to move the entire unit just to shift it a little bit that way and see if I can get enough room to get that out. With the 3 10mm removed here, I can move this around. I want to make sure I'm not going to do anything to damage that line, but looks like I can get my master cylinder kind of out of the way. The problem I have with this is my brake booster, I think, is going to need to go that way. I'm not sure yet. So we'll have to play around with this a little bit when the time comes. But in the meantime, I need to get inside here first, get the 4 nuts off the inside of the firewall. There's also a clip, a retaining clip on the brake pedal. I'll show you that here in just a second. Before I get under there and show you how this is connected, take a look at this clip here. You see a little tab right there that points down? That needs to get pried up a little bit, and then it'll slide right off the pin that's on that brake. So when you look at this, sometimes it could get a little bit confusing. You don't want to over pry it to where it loses its retaining capability, but it's real simple. That little tab right there needs to come up, and then the rest of it will push down and slide right out. You can see everything clearly here. You have 4 retaining nuts. You have one there, and then 2 of them up above. That retaining clip right there. You can see that little tab just has to get pulled back. You push down on the rest of it, it slides right off. Sometimes if you're lucky, you can't push and have it come off because that thing gets stuck. But if you pull down like this and then wiggle it back and forth, it'll work its way up over that mushroom looking thing. Just like that. At least on my 98 TJ, these are 9/16. Now, having done this before already, I can tell you with certainty, you want to loosen and remove those top 2 nuts before you even loosen the bottom 2. They're just harder to get to, and that's the way it is. But once you get them loosened, you can sit outside the Jeep like this, and you can kind of feel for where those are at. Now with the 4 nuts off, and if you haven't already, make sure that you the lever that attaches to the brake pedal, pull that off once that clips off there. Once that's done, this should come out straight and easy. It's just you got to make sure you're not going to bend any brake lines, get anything out of the way. Hopefully this comes out fairly straightforward. Fingers crossed. My lever's still attached to the brake pedal a little bit. And it pulls out just like that. One thing a lot of people don't discuss about in their videos when doing a brake booster is your push rod needs to be adjusted. It says so on the box. The factory service manual lets you know that. When you look at the push rod here, there's a threaded insert there. You're going to see an adjuster nut, and they're all a little bit different. Even my factory one's a little bit different, but you'll get the same idea here. So you want to take and break loose that jam nut. The problem is that entire rod will spin, so you're going to have to back it up with something. In this case here, a 1/4-inch socket fits right over the end of that. You're going to bust that loose, and I'm going to pull it out and show you what it looks like. So this entire adjustment rod here, not the entire one, but the tip of this, will come all the way out. And when you look at this, let's see if we can get it to focus. When you look at this thing right here, you can see the jam nut there, and then this piece right here doesn't turn. That's all part of that threaded stud. So you just put something on there to hold that in place while you move that jam nut back and forth. So to adjust this, you simply undo it, adjust your jam nut a little bit, kind of get it ballpark where you want to be, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a second. And then you can thread this back in. And then what I did on my old one is I got a straight edge, and you can use whatever you want to mark depth here. I just went with a pair of calipers, and I got it set to where it touched the tip of the threaded rod over on my factory one, and I'm matching it to this one over here. So once I have that set where I want it to go, now what I need to do is hold this and then tighten the jam nut, and then it will be set and ready for installation into the Jeep. All right, some of the stock ones, are probably most of the stock ones, they came with the gasket that went right here between this and the firewall. Mine's completely shot. I'm not too worried about it. It also comes with a weather seal right here on the firewall. You can peel that off and put it over this before you install it. I'm opting to leave mine there because this thing is so old. I'm afraid if I start to peel that back, everything's just going to pull apart. So I'm just going to take the push rod here that connects to the brake pedal, and I'm going to thread it through, or just push it through that center hole and push it back in that way. One other thing too, you have this little black piece that fits inside your brake pedal part right there. Make sure you put that in there before you install. I'm going to put it here on the floorboard so it doesn't fall out and get lost, and I'll do that once I'm inside the Jeep here. As you do this, you want to make sure that you're not pinching wires, you're not kinking lines, you're not doing anything like these wires right here. I don't want those getting pinched. Now don't forget, when you put that brake booster through the firewall, your brake pedal bracket needs to line up those 4 holes, and then those nuts go over the threaded studs, holding everything together. Let's say you're fortunate like me, in the front of this brake pedal, you see the plunger right there. Listen to this. If you get it to reset, and it should ratchet, if you get it to reset all the way back, all you have to do is grab it and pull it out. And then sometimes it's really, really hard to do so, you can't get it. You take a pair of pliers, put it up around that plunger, and I'll pull this out and show you, but it's kind of a pain in the rear. The first thing you want to do is disconnect your wire right here. I've already got it loosened up so it comes out like that. It's kind of a pain, but then this electrical connection makes a 1/4 turn and it pops out straight like this. Now over here on the table, this is what happened here. The plunger, it adjusts, and when you push your brake or pull your brake pedal all the way out, it knocks up against it and you hear it ratchet, right? Well, sometimes when you're moving stuff out like I did, you can push it in all the way and now it doesn't come back out. And you're under there and you're trying to pull it and sometimes it won't come out. In this case here, it's pulling out by hand because it's nice and easy in my hand. Underneath there, it is a bear, I'll tell you. So what you need to do is get a pair of needle nose pliers, and these are actually kind of ground down. These are a special pair used for something else, but you put it around there and you could push on it gently and you can get that plunger to come back out. Now, if you pull it all the way out like this on accident, that's fine. You push it back in, go to that first snap to where you hear it click in, and then it won't go anymore. Once you get this reinstalled, you want to take your brake pedal when it's hooked up and pull it back all the way up against the plunger, and it is going to ratchet all the way at the very end of the pedal's throw, and that's how you know it's adjusted correctly. All that, and I almost forgot what we were doing. So underneath, get your pedal put onto the pin. Make sure you put that little sleeve in there, put in your that little retaining bracket, and then you're done underneath. Everything else should be good. Moving on back out here, I made sure I had no wires pinched. This is nice and solid where it needs to go. Remember, we already adjusted the rod that comes out from there. Now it's time to put the master cylinder back in place. When you do this, you want to make sure that you are lining everything up to go right inside that hole, and everything should go in nice and easily straight in. Once you make sure that plunger is going where it needs to go, you're going to take your first two nuts, and this is a kind of hard part here because it's got the proportioning valve connected. You need to take a nut on this side and that side and then start to push this in so everything lines up, and then you're going to thread them in a little bit at a time on each side until you get them all the way. You want to get those nuts snug, but don't over tighten them. Then we need to add the nuts for the proportioning valve bracket to hold that in place. Again, tighten them down snug, but not over tightened. We're almost to the end now. We have the power brake booster mounted. Make sure you start connecting all these other small things that need to come back. So in this case here, this vacuum line is really important. I'm going to reconnect my reservoir vent line right there. You want to connect your electrical connector if you undid that when you removed your master cylinder. In this case here, I also want to tighten up the 10mm bolts I had to loosen to get this out of the way so I can get that thing out of there. Once you get all that done, I'm going to put my emission stuff back on there, but that's not part of this anyway. But go over, make sure all your connections are where you want them to be. Everything is secured. Make sure you're not pinching any wires. Just give one good look over to make sure everything's secured. All right, I've double checked everything. I'm good to go. Put the hood down. Next thing you do is to go take it for test drive. And don't forget, if you need to adjust that brake pedal switch, the indicator will be that your brake lights are on even though the brake pedal's not pushed. You need to have that plunger out in order for that to work. So do that. And now I should have a good, firm, stiff pedal that will push with the greatest of ease and get this thing to stop. Hopefully this video helped you out. Please like, subscribe, all that other crap people say, and we'll see you on the next one.